cities into salt. I even, when I feel like it, rip the souls from the girls, and from now till kingdom come, the only thing you can count on in your existence is never understanding why.
I'm surrounded by nothing but creeps. To defeat, I swing my slice device twice in the heat
like cattle, slaughtering those who follow ideas of wickedness, running up in their homes and businesses.
Bodies burnt with crisp bones, cracked like wits and sick. Many told a slim wrist for their corruptness. So fast bringing the ruckus, no injustice, out of the rule. Bear witness, Joel chapter 2.
It's the TAZA, they say he played for keeps. Shop description is ripping those with the mark of the beast.
The principal chiefs unique when it comes to truth. IQAhmath the type to snap you out like John Wilkes.
And busy body running through the streets with the sledgehammer, head slammer, brain scrambler, and they got it all on camera with the 3 on spree. And it's all on tape. This is the truth, shoot rebuke, cause they go sum up on the rooftop by your quad. Here come the soldiers, Tazaz pinned up in the back, throwing voters from the show.
2,000 pounds of pressure, I'm known as the aggressor with the will to kill, coming straight at your grill. Now what the hell is this? I'm up against the wall with bloody hands and rows of teeth stuck up in my fist. Cause I aimed for the chest but missed. Took his whole head off like gorillas in the mist. I got a pause and laugh. I snatched 3 off my back and gave him a blood bath as I slashed across the parking lot. Boy, they smoke a lot of heat, killing everything inside. They all suffering defeat.
Roundhouse and foot sweeps, overturning chiefs. Left me down, rolling down the street. Babylon came at it, works by the twin, golden hatchets. Plus arrows I ripped your bone marrow, left him hanging dry like a scarecrow. The gate's narrow, but I'm not alone. His eyes taking heads with his hands of stone. Wigs blown like that bomb in Atlanta. All done by busy body sledgehammer. Prophecy locked down like a slammer.
They shot me in my chest 6 times. It didn't even fade me. Cause I'm a woman. I'm standing here watching my beam close up right before me.
Now it's on the cracking like a 2x4. To the plate I step, checking next to the upper deck. With a hammer like Thor, we in this war.
IQAhmath got gold with a sword.
But it didn't phase him. Toss him to me, and then I let Tazaz blazing. Covered in mud, we taking slugs, it's amazing. Ripped out his spine, and with his skull, and I grazed it.
Passing to me,
well, very enough.
Cause I'm a blaze, I'm castrated, we hate him, decapitate him. Hell raising, stainless steel blades, bullets is ricochet. I've been hitting close range on my hand grenades.
Let's take it to the next stage.
I stand unfazed in these last
Bullets
days.
blaze, but we stomp through Hollywood like parades, leaving them skinhead like Sinead. I got the Eagle Jackson plus Esau. Tossing them up, they falling down like seesaw. Cause I beat Ron to the 3rd degree. They bringing everything they got, trying to serve me. Impervious to pain, leaving them slain with leaking brains. I bite you with the hammer, about to bring the pain. And after everybody get left slain, there's 1,000 more troops, we gotta do the same.
As they prepare to engage in war with the immortals, 200 million angels descend from spiritual portholes.
Imagine that. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. While Yahweh Shad, it's your brother IQAhmath. IQAhmath first name IQ is all the same. We reach another episode. DSTM, don't shoot the messenger with an additional, I guess, spoiler. I've been teasing it for the last couple of weeks. I told y'all I'm gonna share my thoughts on that Captain America and break down some prophecy and some scriptural relevance to the movie. So it's not just entertainment. There's a lot of things that came through that I ended up having to watch it twice. After I watched it the first time, I was really intrigued. I went with my family. We watched it, rated it afterwards. And the next day I had to boost my rating up because Spirit started, replaying some things to me. And I was like, wow, I missed that as I was watching it. It's one of those movies that you can't watch it for just the entertainment value alone or the nostalgia of you loving Marvel and comic books and all of that. It's a little bit more than that. All right. A little bit more than that. So tonight is the night. If you have not seen it, spoiler alert, you might want to get out of here right now. You might want to log off. Or you can be inspired and go catch it when you can. but I did want to share that. And of course, we got some current events we got to talk about, a lot to talk about, even on that scenario. Know that there's a lot going on within our nation, a lot going on within Israel right now. I'm going to put any comments, anything on hold for the greater matters as it concerns our nation worldwide. And don't even need to speak on it really at this point. It's kind of beating a dead horse, but I'm going to leave that alone for right now. And moving the spirit. As of right now, we're going to get started with this review. All right. So if you haven't seen it, block your ears, do what you need to do, or you can be intrigued by my take on it. Did anybody see it? I see y'all in the chat. Shalom to the family in the chat, the Shar, UZL, Malachi, brother Jason, Shalak, Kohav, Bayan, Hashemai. Anybody else is going to be joining in? Did y'all see it yet? Before I, get to spoiling, you know what time it is. Throw a 7 in the chat if you've seen it. If you have not, I see a no. Shalak, sorry, my brother. It might inspire you though. You might. Bayan said you forgot to tell you the truth. Okay, no problem. All right, well, hey, it's gonna be a spoiler alert for some of y'all. It just is what it is. Ashar said he's seen it. Okay. All right. Well, hey, I teased it for the last 2-3 weeks almost. But I'm gonna give y'all some insight. All right. So let's go. Let me share my screen and we'll get to it. Now, I don't want to go too crazy, but I just was really moving in the spirit with it, and I had to break it down as such. All right. Let me hide this. All right. So let's start here. Matter of fact, let me back this up. All right, because you kind of gotta go back. For those who watched the was it Avengers Endgame? There's a scene in the end when Captain America surrenders the shield to the Falcon. All right. Fair use. This is I'm shaking the dice on this one. It's on YouTube. It's a short. I didn't rip this from, Disney Studios or whoever. This is publicly on YouTube. All right. So fair use. This is for the purposes of criticism and comments. News reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. I don't own the rights to this particular clip, but I am going to play a quick little short that set the stage for what we're looking at. All right. So let me play this clip. Again, fair use. Now, this is the scene where Captain America loses the super serum. He's aging now, and he did it through the I think the Infinity Stone, the Time Stone. He went back in time. Didn't eventually? I think he ended up not taking the serum or lost the serum, something like that. I can't recall how it all went down. Nonetheless, he's surrendering the shield to Sam. Watch this.
Listen. So did something go wrong or did something go right?
Well, that's right. Put the stones back, I thought. Maybe try some of that life Tony was telling me to get.
How'd that work out for you?
It was beautiful.
I'm happy for you. Truly. Only thing bugging me out is the fact that I have to live in a world without Captain America.
Now, the cold part is that Sam is such an Uncle Tom, so to speak. He loves America, loves Captain America. He wants to trust and believe that there is good in the so-called white man. There is good in the American government, even though in one of the Avengers, when Black Panther's father got killed, I know it was a Winter Soldier, I believe. Black Panther's father got killed, I believe. They blamed the Avengers. They said that they were vigilantes. They were causing death. They need to be suspended and shut down. That's when Tony Stark ended up trying to make Ultron. to make a robot force to police the world. I know I'm geeking out on y'all, on my comic book tip, but a lot of y'all seen these movies, man. You probably just ain't figuring it all out, right? But nonetheless, this is a particular scene where Captain America now is retiring. He's giving up the shield and he's handing it over to Sam, which is the Falcon.
Reminds me. Triangle.
Now he's in disbelief. He's got to go and look at his buddy Bucky to say, is this real? Like, is he really actually finished? Is it over for him? Like, he can't believe it.
How does it feel?
Like it's someone else's.
It isn't.
Thank you.
Now, you heard what he said. How does it feel? He said, it's like it's somebody else's. He said, it isn't. So he says, thank you. Now, we're going to get an understanding on why did he say it feels like it's somebody else's? And then Captain America, Steve Rogers admits and says it isn't. It's not somebody else's. It's yours. It's always been yours, basically.
I'll do my best.
That's why it's yours.
You want to tell me about her?
No, I don't think I will.
All right, so
I see.
moving on from there, right? So what does the shield represent? All right, I got some scriptures to the right. We're going to start at Deuteronomy 33:29. It says, happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people, saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of excellency. So if we're looking at it from the metaphysical standpoint, the spiritual standpoint, if you will, the shield is the help. The shield is the foundation of protection, covering by the Most High. The shield is what, it can be a weapon. It can be a defense. This is what the Most High is acknowledging when he says, oh, people saved by Yahweh. Well, isn't Captain America? He's supposed to be the savior. He's supposed to be the one who saves everybody, the hero. So when that's passed along, it's acknowledging and showing the power of the Most High being passed over. Esau now has given up the power. Job 9:24, he's surrendering, saying, it's not mine, it's yours. So Sam is like, are you serious? Like, you finally are going to give it up, right? So it says, oh, people say by Yahweh, the sword of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency? And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. So whoever has the shield is always going to be a conqueror, or the one who comes out on top through the power and the spirit of the Most High. Psalms 91:4 says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust. Interestingly enough, the falcon uses what? Wings, right? That's just another little interpretation. But we continue, it says, his truth shall be thy shield and buckler. So Esau surrenders. He says, the truth is not in me, it's yours. You now are the one who's going to basically hold the realm, or hold the power of this quote unquote brave new world. That's the name of the movie, Captain America: Brave New World. Okay. 2 Ezra 7:10 says, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so is also Israel's portion. Verse 11, because for their sakes I made the world. So when you're talking about this brave new world, it's talking about the world of Israel. Even when you're looking at it from Isaiah 45:17, let's go there real quick. I didn't put it on here, but everybody should be kind of familiar with that one. Isaiah 45:17, but Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. So this brave new world is Israel in their salvation. This brave new world is the world that the Most High created for Israel's sake. Captain America is handing over the power, the protection, the shielding, the dominance that comes along with the shield. He hands it to Sam. He says, it's yours. It's always going to be yours. He said, I'm going to try my best. He said, I know you will. That's why I gave it to you. Because now, not to get too deep into it, but under the quote unquote new covenant, the laws being in our hearts and our minds, it's going to be like second nature to be righteous. We have no other choice but to do our best. Right. But Isaiah 45 and 17 is acknowledging that Israel is that world, but Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So this brave new world is all surrounding around Israel. Okay. Let's go back. Now, remember, Job 9:24 says the earth's been given into the hand of the wicked. Now it's being returned back. Why? Because the Lord said he made the world for our sakes. We're the world that the Most High is really concerned with. He's our shield, buckler, our protection, so forth and so on. That transference of power is coming out of Esau's hands and into Israel's hands. And that's the theme as we play out in the rest of the movie. Let's look here. Now, the two main characters, the two heroes, if you will, ironically, Northern and Southern Kingdom. You got the guy is Joaquin, I think Joaquin Torres is his character name, 10 Tribe brother. And then you got Sam over here, right? And if you notice, both of them represent with wings, they fly, so forth and so on, right? So let's look at these scriptures here, because of course we know the angels representing with the wings. That's why I played that song in the beginning called The Immortals. And there's a movie clip at the beginning that we got from the movie Prophecy. And he speaks about him he's an angel. He turns cities into salt. And, he's he's in charge of destruction or whatnot. He says the only thing you can't understand is why. Because he's under the authority of the Most High. Now, here they are representing angelic beings or whatnot with their power, their wings, and all of that other stuff. But in the spirit, that's what they're carrying out. But notice the world is coming together, according to like Ezekiel 37 with the valley of the dry bones and all of that. Under the Northern and Southern Kingdom, they're going to be the ones who save the world or put the world back in this particular order. Isaiah 6, let's read 1 through 6. And matter of fact, let's read it in the what's going on here? Yeah, the blue letter. Okay, so Isaiah 6 and 1. It says, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high lifted up, and his train filled the temple. And above it stood the seraphims, which had each one has 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. So, seraphim, let's look at that real quick. Let's look at the all right, so the Hebrew word sarap, which means a burning, poisonous serpent, specifically a sarap, a symbolical creature from their copper color. Of course, we know what color copper is, brown, right? And they had wings, human hands, voices, and attendants of the Most High, right? So the seraphims are considered angels, right? And it said that they had, let me get back over here to the blue letter. So it says what? They had 6 wings. 2, that's the twain. 2 were covering his face, 2 covered his feet, and the other 2 he used to fly. It says, and one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is Yahweh of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. So Isaiah thought that he was going to be judged because he said he's a man of unclean lips, and he's amongst Israel, who's of unclean lips, meaning wasn't abiding by the righteousness of the Most High and the laws and whatnot, right? But this is where Isaiah is being chosen. Watch this. And I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips, for mine eyes have seen the King, the Most High Yahweh of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar, and he laid it upon my mouth and said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. So this is the conversion. This is where Isaiah receives his quote unquote anointing through fire, that he's now being received of the Lord. He's going to be a prophet of the Most High. Now remember this name, Isaiah, because it's important as we continue on. Let's get that in Ezekiel 1. Ezekiel, first chapter. Now we see one account of the seraphims with wings, copper color, right? Let's look at this one. Ezekiel chapter 1, we're going to read 5 down to 7. This is also showing the angel of the Most High, okay? In Ezekiel's vision. Now, let's start at 3. It says, the word of Yahweh came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzai, in the land of Chaldeans by the river Shabar. So Ezekiel's receiving this vision in Babylon, right? And it says, and the hand of Yahweh was there upon him. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself. So here's a chariot that's coming out, whirlwind, great cloud of fire, and the brightness was about it, and out the midst thereof was the color of amber, and out the midst of the fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. So you had the seraphims had 6 wings. These particular angels have 4 wings. They have interchangeable faces, depending on the performance that they need to. Because remember, the Most High even said that the spirits of the Lord that are created for vengeance, they come in fire, they come in teeth of wild beasts, they come in where's that at in let's get that real quick. I gotta open up another tab. That's the rock, was it 39? They have different forms they can take to execute the judgment of the Most High. Here we go. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail, famine, death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. So, you know, they can take different forms of spirits, angels that the Most High uses. Let's go back to Ezekiel. Now it says it said that, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. And they had the hands of a man under their wings on the 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. So these are accounts of the angels, all of them being like burnished brass, black, brown angels, right? And then we see these depictions coming out in these characters. Let's go to Exodus. Let's read that in Exodus 28. And what's it, 25, 18, I'm tripping. That's Exodus 25 and 18. Better yet, let me use that. Let me get this in. Better. Exodus 20. I go again, 128. Now, the altar's being made, right? And the Ark of the Covenant is being constructed here in Exodus 25. So in verse 16, it says, and thou shalt put into the Ark of the Testimony, which I give thee, and thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold, 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half of the breadth thereof. Verse 18 is the key. And thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold of beaten work, and thou shalt make them in the 2 ends of the mercy seat. So let's look at cherub. It's the Hebrew word karab or karabium, if it's, plural. And what do we see? Well, an angelic being. So you got the seraphims, the cherubims, you've got various forms of angels. And then we see in the movie is brown and black brothers flying around with wings on with superpowers, saving the world. And again, in the spirit, the world is Israel, right? Um, so that's all I really want to put out on that part, right? Now, the image that you can look at in Isaiah 6 is, similar to this. I found this online. I thought it was kind of powerful, minus, this being Isaiah down here. But you can't see his face, but, you can kind of tell they got the little long wig on him. He ain't looking like the real Isaiah. But nonetheless, this I thought was a pretty powerful picture for the seraphim that was being described in Isaiah. So then some may say, okay, well, I saw the movie and it wasn't only them as the heroes. There was another little white girl that saved them too. Oh, okay. Well, here she goes. Ruth Bat Seraph. So if you're under our understanding and what we teach at MOTC is that Ruth was indeed a Moabite. And she made all sacrifices to be a part or to be amongst Israel. She bare the seed of Obed and gave the son over as a surrogate. The law was still found as far as the heathens being out there gathering, amongst us and working for us or whatnot. Plus the name. That's what much is in the name. So this is the help. Yeah, there was a little heathen woman named Ruth that was amongst Israel coming in to help, right? And her name, Bat Seraph, Bat meaning daughter, and Seraph again, we saw what it was, being a daughter of the seraphim, or a daughter of the angel, so to speak. Now, this is the comic book character. This is by name. This is what she's supposed to look like. But you see, even in the comic book, they gave her a little afro. But she's supposed to be a GMO, fraud, so to speak. Now, so they changed up the character a bit in the movie. They said she was a Black Widow. She came from the same, school of thought as a Black Widow from the Avengers. But that's not according to the comic books. She actually has superpowers. She's supposed to be a hero amongst the small hats, right? So even within the names, we see that Ruth Bat Seraph. So Ruth, again, she was a heathen that was amongst Israel and played a role historically enough that she had a book named after her, right? And the daughter of the seraphim. So here she is being amongst the quote unquote seraphims or the angels that was saving the world. That's all I'm gonna speak on her. They got some background about her character role. Now, one thing you'll notice, the first enemy in the movie that the Falcon and it was Captain America and the Falcon. So Sam is now Captain America. The 10 Tribe Cat is the Falcon now. The first enemy that they encountered, they went down to Mexico to stop a character named Sidewinder from stealing. I believe he was trying to get some adamantium down in Mexico. So the first mission is to go down to Mexico, and they're down there saving the Northern Kingdom from the serpent. Now, interestingly enough, we know the Bible begins with the first opposition that we faced, or Adam and Eve faced and the Adamites faced, was the serpent. So the serpent plays a key role in here. The serpent is being deceptive. This guy Sidewinder is in there being used as an agent of deceit, destruction. He's being used as a thief. They got a whole society of serpents, or agents of Satan, so to speak. In the comics, they didn't go into the whole society, but you can see here this is the whole serpent society in the comic books. But I thought that was interesting that the first encounter that they had, or the first conflict that they had, was dealing with the serpent, same way they did in Genesis. All right, moving on here. Now, this is really, really key here. Now, for those who don't know, there's another series called The Winter Soldier and the Falcon, and that's on Disney Plus, and it kind of goes. It's a spinoff of the Avengers and all of that. In that show, they reveal that the first Captain America was actually a Jake, and this Jake is his brother named Isaiah. Right now, Isaiah Bradley. Now he's the first Jake. Now I'm gonna read. I need to read some of his background because it's important. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can. I had to write down some notes. I don't want to forget nothing. Real quick. Oops. Let me see. Snacky, y'all. Bear with me 1 second. All right, let me see if this is the view I'm trying to get. Because let me see. Slacky, y'all. 1 second. All right, so let's look at his brother, Isaiah Bradley. It says he's an elderly super soldier who served in the Korean War, during which time he was sent behind enemy lines to fight the brainwashed Bucky Barnes, whose metal arm he damaged. After rescuing other black super soldiers who were being held prisoner, he was imprisoned by the U.S. government and Hydra for 30 years, experimented on, and his existence kept a secret, with not even Steve Rogers knowing of it. So here we see the legacy of the quote unquote Captain America was all based around a brother. The first Captain America was a brother. They gave him the super serum, and there was other black super serum soldiers that were being held captive. And he went and freed them, and they persecuted him for freeing his people and held him prisoner 30 years and experimented on him. So, if you go to one of the first library chronicles, I believe I did, was the book called Medical Oppression. If I had it with me right now, I'd show it. But if you go back in the archives and our videos, Medical Oppression was one of the library chronicles that I did. And it goes in depth about all of the medical experimentations that the so-called white man did to our people. Everything from the Tuskegee experiments to Sarah Bartman to leukemia experimentations. I mean, you got, we were just talking about the sister Henrietta Lacks last weekend at the New Moon. So this is the legacy in which they see our people coming from. Now, think about this. Also in the movie, Isaiah acknowledges that his wife's name is Faith, but Faith passed away. You know, he got in a limo, he had a suit on, and he said, the 10 tribe cap was like, oh, I didn't know they make, you know, suits at the, he made a little joke. And he was like, hey, me and Faith got married in the suit. Now, if you know anything about Isaiah, the prophet, Isaiah has, and even in the names, man. I mean, look at Sam. Sam, the quote unquote Captain Avenger, he's, you know, like compare him to, I'm not going to say compare, but you can always draw a parallel with Samuel, the prophet Samuel in the Bible, right? Now you got Isaiah. Now, Isaiah has the most books or most chapters, I should say, amongst the prophets. The book of Isaiah prophesied about Christ. The book of Isaiah prophesied about Israel being returned back to the Most High. The book of Isaiah prophesied about, you know, Esau going into captivity. Isaiah prophesied about the downfall of Babylon in Isaiah 13, Isaiah 14, Christ in Isaiah 53, Isaiah 60, 63, where he talked about Christ coming from Basra with his, you know, garments look like they've been, like he's been through the wine vat. So Isaiah is an important prophet in the scriptures, and he's an important character in this movie because it all started with him and everything was surrounded around him, right? So in the movie, now he's free, he's got his glory, rebels a little bit against Esau, and then what happens? They mess around, lock him up, put him in captivity. Then he comes out in the movie, he gets out, gets exonerated. He's living a, you know, a low-key life, staying out the way. And this is all going back to the Falcon and Winter Soldier, that whole series. This is where you get the whole understanding about Isaiah Bradley and the whole history behind Captain America. Now, here we see another instance of stolen identity. The whole legacy that was set up regarding a chosen people, a chosen soldier, now his whole identity gets hijacked by Edomite, blonde hair, blue eyed, skinny, frail punk that got on the juice, stole his legacy. They buried the existence of Isaiah, just like they do us with our identity, just like they do us with our history. Did that to this brother, right? So even when you think about it and his legacy goes from getting, you know, the super serum, going out fighting for America, gets put in captivity, then he gets released. Now, in the new movie, in the Brave New World, he goes back into bondage again. So who else has gone through bondage in and out? Well, how about Israel, right? Let's just say 70 AD, Jerusalem's ransacked and we get put into bondage and fleeing to the four corners of the earth. Right. Then we are able to come out and we have what? The Dark Ages, Black nobility, all throughout Europe, Eastern Europe, Russia, so forth and so on. In our heyday, 400 AD all the way up to 1493 AD. In our heyday, right? Then what? Boom, we're going back into captivity, waiting to get out of bondage again, just like Isaiah was. In the movie, he said, man, I did 30 years. Them experimenting on me, jacking me up, all for what? Freeing his brothers that was in captivity. Look at this. After rescuing other Black super soldiers who were being held prisoner, he was imprisoned by the U.S. government and Hydra for 30 years and experimented on his existence, kept a secret with not even Steve Rogers knowing of him. So, yeah, guess what? Being destroyed for lack of knowledge. Our existence, our history, being wiped away, nobody even knowing about it. Now we have to come back into the knowledge of ourselves, right? Same thing with him. A nurse helped him escape by forging his death and went into hiding. By 2024, he lives in Baltimore with his grandson, Eli. Oh, another name, Elijah. Okay. He refuses to help Sam Wilson and Barnes when they seek him out, revealing his hatred for the government and contempt for the idea of a black man being Captain America. That's all from the Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know, when they come, Sam Wilson, you know, he's a Captain America now. He comes up there with Bucky Barnes. They need his help. They need his history. And he's like, man, the hell with America, the hell with the government, man. I don't want no parts of it, man. You know what they did to me? I'm through with this place. Isn't that the attitude that we get once we get awoken, once we realize we're in this bondage and in captivity and we get up out of there? Like then all of a sudden it's, I don't want nothing to do with this place. That is Isaiah. Later, after Sam officially takes the title, he uses his new influence to set up a memorial and statue for Bradley in the Smithsonian Institution as part of the, quote, existing Captain America exhibit, right? So now you're seeing the dynamic that Isaiah plays. Major prophet in the Bible, prophesies about damn near the beginning and the end, and about our people. The character himself was put into bondage for doing the right thing, helping his people, you know, gets let out, then gets put back in as he's, you know, used in a setup, an assassination attempt. So it kind of just shows you the legacy of what happens with our people, right? Through these characters. Now, moving on. And we're almost done. I don't want to spoil everything. You got to watch it all. Watch it yourself. But here we go. The Red Hulk. And y'all already should be putting 2 and 2 together. The cartoon, the comic book you see here, this guy Thunderbolt Ross. This is a general man that had it out for the Hulk. He had it out for, you know, anybody with quote unquote powers. He himself, you know, ended up getting cancer. But let me just read this. Thunderbolt Ross is the personification of Esau. Ruthless, a liar, untrustworthy, power hungry. However, in the movie, he shaves his mustache and says he's changed. So that's the legacy that, you know, Thunderbolt Ross, I forgot his first name, but he's this notorious general. He had it out for the Hulk. He had it out for Bruce Banner. He was, you know, he was tripping, right? Now in the movie, he becomes the president and he's claiming, I'm not the same warmongering, you know, ruthless guy that I used to be. Look, I cleaned up. Everybody likes me now. And he says that he's changed. But there's a backstory behind him. He says that now also I wrote down here, it says he knew his time was limited, just like, you know, the spirits be knowing. Esau knows his time is up. That's why he's pushing the envelope. He's going all in when it comes down to he's going all in when it comes down to trying to preserve this kingdom of his. He's going all in when it's coming down to him trying to preserve power. Okay. He's thinking that he's going to have opportunity to maintain his power structure, but that's not happening. Just like Thunderbolt Ross, man, he knew that his time was limited because he got diagnosed with cancer. And in an effort for him to try to, you know, seek some life extension, he ended up making a deal with this scientist named Stearns. I forgot his first name in the movie. And Stearns ends up getting jacked up with some gamma radiation, turns himself into the leader, this big old brainiac. And Thunderbolt Ross says, hey, I'm gonna put your life back in order. Don't worry about it. Just help me survive. Help me beat this cancer. Nobody else can do it. And once the leader, he ends up realizing that Ross lied to him and he's not going to actually help him. He would told him, take these pills and they'll help get rid of the cancer and keep you living. But the pills had gamma radiation in them. So the more he took them, the more it was starting to change him. And that's what ultimately makes him change into the Red Hulk. Hopefully y'all are following along. All right. So he said, now Esau knows his time is limited, right? And this is why he goes all out. Look at this in Luke 8. Let me see. Where do I want to go? Is this the one? Slide here real quick. This ain't the account. It might be let me see. It might be might be in Mark's, because in the Mark's account with Legion, he asked him, Doc, I might be overreading it, but give me 1 second, y'all. I'm about to just look it up. Oh, it's Matthew's. Matthew's account. That's the one. Now, let's look at this real quick, because again, Thunderbolt Ross, he knows his time is limited. Let me get the scripture up for y'all so you can see where I'm at. Did it change? It's not changing, huh? Let me I don't like how that's sharing. Slacky, y'all. All right, let's do it like this. All right. So Matthew 8 in verse 28. It says that when he was come, you know what? Let me start 27. It says, but the men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? So this is speaking about Yahweh when he was rebuking the disciples when they were on the boat and they was lacking faith. He told them, come out and join me. And they didn't do it. Peter went out. He was able to sustain himself on the water until he doubted, went down under. Now they said, man, what type of man are we dealing with? Even the winds and the seas obey him. Verse 28, it says, and when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee, Yahweh, the Son of the Most High? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time? So it shows you here, man, that the devils, the demons, and the spirits, man, they know their time is limited here on the earth. Esau knows when it says that the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, that is for a limitation of time. That's not forever. And they know. That's why the spirits came. They said, man, you come to torment us before the time? Like, I thought we still had some more time left. And it says, and there was a good way off from them and heard of many swine feeding. So the devils besought him, saying, if thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine. So you see what type of spirits be in the damn swine. Devils. That's why people be out here acting a damn fool, eating these unclean meats. You are what you eat. Hello? They asked, man, with the only host that we feel comfortable that's around us right now is the swine. So can we go over there? And a lot of our people don't even know most of the swine that gets imported from China. You want that? Who, Lord knows what's coming from over there. China be importing a gang of swine over here. So that's that point right there, right? So Thunderbolt Ross, he knows his time is limited, right? Now, continuing on, because his time is limited, he sought out some life extension science to try to keep him going. And it wound up backfiring on him because he did it in deceit. He made a deal with the devil, so to speak, right? Now it says he makes a deal with the leader who poisoned Ross for lying to him and using him. The leader is the voice of Satan. So in the movie, the leader is always communicating through the phone. He's communicating over loudspeakers. And he is at one particular scene where he's trying to entice Ross into getting into his inner rage, getting into the essences of who he is, the cunning hunter, the one that said, well, that he's going to utterly slay his brother Jacob. He wants him to come out. Ross is saying, "I'm a changed man." Like that good white man that you Negroes think that is out there. But in the movie, the leader says, "Hey," and especially in the particular scene, he's whispering. He says, "The hatred and the ugliness is still in you. Let it out. Let the rage out." He wants him to destroy everything. So that's how the leader is getting back. He wants him to change. All the time, the president, he's fighting it off. He's thinking taking these pills is helping him control his rage so he doesn't turn into the Red Hulk. And the Red Hulk, the difference between the red and the green Hulk is the Red Hulk is kind of, made through gamma radiation and fire. So he can shoot, flames out his eyes, things he touch, he can heat up and burn. Just like a dragon, the dragon utilizes the fire, in mythology or whatnot. Plus he's red, you know what time it is. And in the end all be all, it's who? The Red Hulk or the quote unquote Red Dragon fighting against these angels or the angel, so to speak, Sam or so-called Captain America, right? So it says the leader is the voice of Satan in the movie, telling him the hatred and the ugliness is still in him, buried, and to let it out, let the rage out, right? The leader also uses music and phones to hypnotize people and turn them into killers. So that also shows you with the technology. We know that music is a tool and a motivation, just like we know that David played the harp to calm down Saul. Even in what is it, Wisdom of Solomon? I believe it's is it the 16th? Might not be. Let me see. The 19. Let me see. I thought it was there. Maybe I'm tripping. The last chapter. Wisdom of Solomon. Let me see. Just go back. Yeah, this is it right here. So Wisdom of Solomon 20, right? And see where I want to start at. I'm gonna just start at 18. It says, "For the elements were changed in themselves by a kind of harmony, like it's in the sultry notes, change the name of the tune, and yet are always sounds, which may well be perceived by the sight of the things that have been done." So it's even showing how the elements move like in a harmonious way. That it says even when it changes a tune, it's always still a sound, but it's going to be perceived by what the outcome is. So the music creates outcomes, right? The sounds, the harmonies, the keys, the notes, the vibrations. That's what the leader was utilizing. He was playing one particular song, and as soon as somebody was programmed to hear it, they turn into assassins and they going about trying to take somebody out. They did that with Isaiah Bradley. They used him to try to assassinate the president. And once they looked at like the hidden cameras, he was looking at his phone, and the phone was like flashing lights in his face. So it shows you the technology and the issues that come with the tech can be used to control people, putting people in trances. They use that same analogy in the Kingsman, where they had the chips in the phones, and everybody went haywire, killing each other, wilding out to create ultimate chaos in the earth. If anybody's seen that movie, The Kingsman. Right. But, long story short, you see the Red Hulk represents the red dragon making war with the angels, as it says in, Revelation 12:9, Genesis 25:25, the red nation coming out of Isaac, known as Esau, name changed to Edom, and ultimately the good versus the evil comes out, and the good wins with Sister Jake. All right, so I'm gonna stop there, and then there go the leader. You know, this Quasimodo looking dude right there. But that was that, right? So hopefully that inspired you guys to go watch the movie. You got some little insight and little different angle to watch it. Like I said, I had to watch it a couple times. I might even still miss some stuff, but that's what I pulled up out of it. So there is scriptural relevance, scriptural basis for those for that movie. It's not really getting a whole lot of publicity that I know of. It's not like the other Marvel movies where people are rushing to go see it. But there is some good relevance into that movie. All right, so go check it out. Let's get to the other things at hand, the other events of the world as it pertains to prophecy. As we've seen what's been going on this week, man. Agent Orange, and some of y'all be saying, why is he calling him Agent Orange? What is it? Just in case y'all don't remember what happened in Vietnam. If you don't remember Agent Orange, and you know that's his skin color due to the spray tans and the the bronzer that he put, the orange bronzer, he, slathering on. But Agent Orange is a chemical herbicide and a defoliant, one of the tactical use rainbow herbicides. It was used by the U.S. military as part of the herbicidal warfare program, Operation Ranch Hand, during the Vietnam War. So it's a destruction agent. It's a chemical weapon. All right. And did some cold things, man, to the Vietnamese. You see them. Hello? This ain't this ain't AI. Agent Orange jacked these people up, man, and this is what America's gonna look like when when he's done. You know, I don't know about that one. That might be AI, but they jacked up. But there you go, man. He's coming through swarming, spraying everything, signing executive orders, ruling by the pen, destroying every damn thing. All right. So we've seen a lot going on, man. He's still signing executive orders. Still ain't kissed and made up with Zelensky. Things are faltering and falling apart with Putin. You know, he thought he had him in the pocket, thought he was getting ready to go forward with it. But it just goes to show you, man, just like, we've been covering all for the past month or more. The scripture of 1 Thessalonians 5:2 still holds true. When they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction happens. There is no peace unto the wicked. I mean, we've gone over them scriptures like weekly, and nothing is changing. Why? Because the Lord set everything in order. This is how he wants things to be established. All right. So look at here. Now we're seeing the 5 countries quietly stockpiling nukes amid fears of World War III. And that, kind of goes to show you where we're at in the spirit, because Jeremiah 50, which is ultimately going to lead to the events of World War. I mean, you're seeing the relationship between America and the EU fracturing, the America and NATO fracturing. That's not getting along when they're supposed to be allies. That's breaking loose. We've been chronicling showing that, right? Now we're seeing that there's going to be an assembly of nations that's going to be rising up against Babylon. Jeremiah 50 and verse 14, it says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. So the bow is like the instrument that obviously shoots the arrow. I don't know what they call them as far as, the nuclear silos or whatnot, where they put the nukes in and put the ICBMs in. That's bending the bow. That's preparing. That's winding them up. And it says, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against Yahweh. Who was this talking about? It's talking about Babylon, right? If you read up, it'll tell you, right? Verse 1. The word that Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. So this is speaking about future Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. Okay. How do we know that? Because verse 33 tells us that this is the land that Judah and Israel was going to be held together. In ancient Babylon, 586 BC, only the children of Judah was there. Now we see that we're seeing both are being held captive in this future Babylon. Verse 33, it says, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Right? So this is how you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon. Verse 29 is another one. It says, call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work. According to all that she have done, do unto her. So when you're dealing with the elements of you reaping what you're sowing, you're dealing with the elements of he that leadeth into captivity, going into captivity, justice by the Most High. You know, there's always the excuse. I wasn't there. It wasn't me. My ancestors. How can you prove? My ancestors didn't do that. We were the good guys. We were with the Freedom Riders. No. The Lord said, recompense her according to her work. Well, look at what the works of America has accomplished. We talked about it before. America's only known like 15 to 17 years of peace in its entire existence since 1776 being declared, quote unquote, America. 15 to 17 years of peace. Other than that, they're constantly warring, they're constantly colonizing, they're constantly destroying heritages and stealing of lands. They're constantly, declaring who's a citizen, who's not, destroying via education, tarring, feathering, quartering men by horseback, lynch hanging, burning, chemical warfare, biological warfare, you name it. The Lord said they're going to be recompensed. America's going to be recompensed according to its works. Classism, starvation, servitude, indentured service. I mean, you name it. Stealing of intellectual property. The Lord said America got a lot to pay for. They said, recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done, broken covenants. I mean, look at what they're dealing with Europe right now. I mean, Europe is like, hey, can we count on America anymore? What they used to be our backbone of strength. We used to be able to get money with them. We used to be able to, make sure that our assurances, hold on, Slucky. The assurances of our security was, dependent upon America. Now they can't be sure. Remember, they're talking about we need a European army now because we can't count on America no more. Oh, well, hey. That's the type of deals that America does. Ask Sitting Bull and ask the rest of the Native Americans who had over 300 peace treaties broken and lied to. Now it says, according to all that she have done, do unto her. For she have been proud against the Most High Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. So yeah, America stands proud and bold against the Most High. They believe that, American, the so-called white man, believes he is the Most High. You just seen the Most High shoot down another SpaceX rocket or plane, or not plane, whatever they call it, shuttle, trying to go out. They got people in the Bahamas finding residue pieces of the rocket they launched up there that the Most High shot down. Trying to get up into the third heaven, trying to, extend itself beyond the firmament, not going down. Taking credit for everything, building AI systems, building fake foods, cloning. I mean, this is how the Most High is like, this guy, he's been proud against me. Now he's got to go. So with that being understood, we're seeing why, one more, because this is going to cover the rest of some of these other. Let's read Joel 3 and verse 9. Because we're seeing the European nations, man, they're in a panic. They're in a panic. Joel 3, verse 9, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I'm strong. So whether they feel as though they have an advantage or feel as though they're prepared to deal with the beast and the harlot that's riding on the beast, it's in control of the system, they're going to get the strength to say, hey, you know what, whether I think I'm ready or not, I'm strong enough, I'm ready to go. The Lord said they're going to draw near, and they're going to be resourcing weapons, beat your plowshares into swords. So look at this. 5 countries quietly stockpiling nukes amid fears of World War III. The size of the world's nuclear arsenal has quietly increased in several countries amid fears of World War III. Officially, 5 countries, China, Pakistan, India, Israel, and North Korea, have increased their nuclear stockpiles by over 700 warheads over the past 40 years. And even America is delved back into harvesting and trying to create more. Let me see if I can find that. There was an article, I can't remember the headline, but it said that America went back to making nukes too since World War II. Let me see what. Well, here's one. To push to rebuild the U.S.'s nuclear stockpile. Much of America's nuclear arsenal is decades out of date. A huge and urgent push to rebuild it has started, but there aren't enough workers with the skills and mechanical aptitude to do this work. That was 2023. I remember seeing the article. That might have been it. It could have been a different one. But we're seeing the stockpiling. We're seeing it all going down. So China, Pakistan, India, Israel, North Korea, all beating their plowshares into swords. Here's the state of affairs in Russia and Ukraine now. You know, people were, now if you notice here, this is breaking news, really. It says Russia rejects a ceasefire deal and continues to shell Ukraine. So when we just saw Zelensky and Trump going at it in the White House, in the Fight House, as they say, and he supposedly had Putin on the hook, ready to, sign a deal and get it over with. And guess what? Everything blew up in the White House, and then Russia didn't like the terms of the peace deal after the fact. They rejected it. So the chump, he came in lying. He said, man, first day in, he'll have the war over in 24 hours, and not when the Most High is the one calling the shots. That's, again, why he holds himself proud in the eyes of the Most High. Remember when he was on TV talking about, I love my Christians, I love my Christians. I'm not a Christian, but go out and vote. It'll be the last time you got to do it. What does that mean? I mean, why is he even insinuating that after 4 years they won't have to vote? There won't be any more voting. Think about that.
In Ukraine are digging up some of the debris, hoping to find survivors in the latest deadly Russian strike. The missile hit a hotel yesterday, killing several people and injuring at least 30 others. Russia says it is firmly opposed to any temporary ceasefires in Ukraine. Stephanie Bennett has more on how this throws the future of peace into doubt.
Europe faces a clear and present danger. The EU holding an emergency.
So you notice here. Now listen to these devils, man, because she's getting ready to hype up the nations, because after Zelensky had that little spat with Trump, he ran back to Europe crying to them. And now all the European nations are like, oh, shoot, We can't count on America no more. Come on over here. We'll comfort you. We'll take care of you. And guess what? Russia now is going to wreak havoc on us too. We need everybody get ready.
Emergency summit in Brussels on Thursday to respond to the growing security rift between Europe and the U.S. It comes as American aid to Ukraine remains suspended, while President Trump pushes for the Europeans to take care of their own defense needs. But just as the meetings got underway, Russia rejected a European peace proposal, calling it a thinly veiled attempt to buy more time for Ukraine to regroup and rearm.
So once peace talks failed in the U.S., he ran to Europe, and Europe said, okay, well, we'll draft our own peace deal. So the EU tried to, draft up a peace deal, and Russia was like, get out of here. You're talking 30 days. You're just trying to, stall for some time for Ukraine to regroup because we over here smashing on them. You're trying to give them a break to regroup so they can come back at us. No, we're not doing that. Bombs away.
We are dealing with an open desire to achieve a respite at any cost for the Kyiv regime in its death throes.
At the same time, Russia also said it's opposed to a temporary truce, as suggested by President Trump, saying it's only interested in a comprehensive peace deal. Europe is now beefing up its defenses with a new $800 billion defense plan that would include more aid for Ukraine.
You see that? Europe and the Tin Horn, they're full-fledged on wanting the war to continue. They want to go all in on this. They're trying to ignite full-fledged World War III. So they said, well, you know what? If America stops funding you, we're going to pull together our resources. They came up with over $800 billion to not only shore up their own defenses. We're talking about Russia. I mean, we're talking about the UK, Germany, France, all these other European nations. They came up with $800+ billion to add more defense spending to their militaries, and they're going to break some bread off to Ukraine and tell them get cracking. We got your back.
You made a strong signal to Ukrainian people, to Ukrainian warriors, to civilians, to all our families, and it's great that we are not alone.
Meanwhile, we're learning more about President Trump's plan to end the war and achieve a lasting peace for both Ukraine and Russia.
He's trying to bring them along the same way, saying, look, you've got to come to some type of negotiated solution to this. This war is not going to be decided on the battlefield. It's just not, because both sides are dug in.
The Russian Foreign Ministry says it's still...
No, the war will end on the battlefield. Let's say the Most High. It's not going to be some sign here. You guys calm down a bit. No. We've seen this happen multiple times, and it's not happening. All right, let's move on. Look, Justice Minister urges Dutch to prepare for war as the government identifies priority sectors. So the Dutch, they're getting prepared. All right. Ukraine says it will do all it can to maintain U.S. ties after Trump pauses aid. So Ukraine is still trying to pander to America, but at the same time, they're holding themselves out to Europe. Europe saying, we got your back, don't worry about it. If America, doesn't get your back, we're going to do it. Either way, we're going full-fledged war with Russia. So Europe is trying to declare war. They're getting ready to get the war and want war cracking with Russia. Russia's already said, listen, I'm getting ready to I can take out the UK with one strike. France, I can take you out with one strike. Poland's right next door to me. They can be gone. I mean, you're talking about... Russia's got like 6,000 to 7,000 nukes. They're the number one nuclear power. America's second. China's third. I think France is fourth. But nonetheless, Europe and their controllers are the ones who's pushing the issue with this. It says Ukraine said on Tuesday it would do all it can to maintain its ties with the United States. Of course. He still wants a little bit of that rotten, spoiled milk coming from the teat of this great harlot. He knows where his bread is buttered. He don't want to let that go. Slow Biden gave him $150 billion plus and weapons and everything else. He knows he's nothing without the whore. He can mess with the 10 horns, the 10 toes. He can mess with them. but they don't have everything that America is prepared to give, right? So it says Trump has upended U.S. policy on Ukraine and Russia, culminating in an explosive confrontation at the White House. We know about that. Let's move on. So Ukraine is still pandering a little bit to America, but at the same time, the backup plan is Europe, and Europe is saying we're going full-fledged with the war. Like, even China jumping in. China says it's ready for war with America. Beijing boosts its defense spending by 7.2% and warns Washington it's prepared to, quote, fight to the end. I mean, just when you think Agent Orange said he's coming in, he's going to bring peace on earth, he's the savior, he's the chosen one. Remember all them quotes that he said? Now, guess what? He's not above the Most High. The Most High is the one who put all these things into perspective. The Most High is the one who puts the issue as far as warfare is concerned. So China says it's ready for war with America as it raises defense spending and imposes retaliatory tariffs on U.S. imports. So the trade war is already going down. Now, remember, China said by 2027, their issues with Taiwan either needs to be wrapped up and Taiwan make peace with China and come back home, or all hell's going to break loose. America's expected to get Taiwan's back. But at the same time, America, the chump is mad that the Taiwanese have been getting over on the tariff situation. So he's kind of like, hey, look, Taiwan's been coming up too on us. They're building the chips and everything else. So I'm kind of tired of them too. So China said, look, we're going to war economically, and if you want to go to the next levels, we're ready for it. In a direct threat to Donald Trump, China's representatives in America said, if war is what the U.S. wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight to the end. China said, we want all the smoke. Wherever you want to go with it, Agent Orange, we're with it. Want to battle with on the tariff war? Cool. Trade war? Cool. Any type of war you want to do. Now, the type of pride that comes with Trump, do you think he's going to take that line down? He always addresses everybody. If he's going to address Rosie O'Donnell and anybody else who says something about it, look, he's going to have to respond to this. And he's trying to hold them off with tariffs, and I believe he just got through saying he's going to lay down heavy tariffs on Russia. After they said they wasn't going to, sanctions it was. You see this? Trump says he is weighing big sanction tariffs on Russia. Get up out of here. Tariffs on Russia to end the Ukraine war. So he thinks he's going to punk them through tariffs. Now, at 1 minute, they was sitting here smiling and hanging out. Now, Russia is back on the table as being an enemy of America. Right? Now he's talking about getting hit with heavy tariffs. China saying, you laid heavy tariffs on us. We ready to scrap about it. So America's got its hands full on multiple fronts. All right, let's move on. Look, we'll fight to the bitter end. China and Canada retaliate against new Trump tariffs. So those tariffs went into effect a couple of days ago. And it's 25% for China, Canada. I think they boosted up another 10% on 20% on China. And everybody who's going to pay for it is the people. When's the last time you bought some eggs? Between that and all the rest of the supplies going up, they're already talking about vegetables and fruits is about to go up. Target CEO just got to saying, they said, man, prices is going up in the next couple of days. If we're not already drowning in, inflationary prices for food, let alone shrinkflation, where you're not even getting the same amount of stuff you used to pay for. Things is in smaller bags, smaller containers, all this stuff. Look at this. Israel preparing hell plan for Gaza. Even that's still going on. We're forgetting about that. That's happening over there. Remember, they had a ceasefire going on. Israel is ramping up, getting right back to what they was doing before, oppressing, destroying, and looking to wipe out the Gazians or the Palestinians over there so they can make their little oasis and institute the Ben Gurion plan for the ports, right? Israeli government is preparing a quote hell plan for Gaza Strip that would involve cutting all electricity and water to the territory on top of the blocking of food, fuel, and all of the goods that was announced by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The Israeli broadcaster Khan has reported. Look at this, man. I mean, at what point in time are they not? I thought there was a warrant out for Benjamin Netanyahu for war crimes. And here they go right back. Cutting off electricity, water, blocking food, all of the fuel and supplies, completely starving them out. And nobody blinks an eye. Everything's just fine. There you go. Moving on. Trump's embrace of Putin has Germany thinking of nuclear weapons. See that? Europe is scared-ishless, as they say, that there could be a forging of a relationship between Trump and Putin, but as of right now, that's dead. Just because of the fact that, Russia's continue bombing the heck out of Ukraine, kicking them while they down. And Europe is saying, well, we got to come to the defense of Ukraine. We got to give them some money, some weapons, put some troops on the ground. We might as well just go ahead on and go all in, because they're running around talking about Europe is next. Once he takes care of Ukraine, European countries and allies are next. We got to get ready. I mean, but there hasn't been nothing out there that says such a thing. But they're putting it out there, so we'll see. Okay. It says Berlin, President Trump's embrace of Russia is causing Europeans to rethink their security and giving currency to an idea the U.S. has long sought to avoid: a nuclear-armed Germany. Friedrich Merz, who was poised to become Germany's next chancellor, said Berlin should start talks about expanding the French and British nuclear deterrence to cover Europe, according to an interview the conservative politician did the Frankfurter Allgemeine. I'm not even go there with this one. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But we see here Germany arming up, the Dutch saying we got to get ready. France has been on record saying they got to get ready. Who was it? There was she was some female, man. She played some role over there in Canada, and she was talking about we need to get some nukes over here. I forgot what. I saw the video. I think it was yesterday, before yesterday. I meant to clip it and throw it on here, but they even talking about trying to get some nukes over in Canada, man. They are out of control. Let me see if I can look at that real quick, man. Forgive me, y'all. Give me 1 second. Yeah, look at this. Canada eyeing NATO allies nukes to deter Trump threat. A politician vying to replace Justin Trudeau as Canada's next leader has suggested forming a closer alliance with Britain and France as the NATO nations possess nuclear weapons, which could help safeguard the Canadians against potential threats posed by Donald Trump. Did you hear that? And this is a female. I forget. I don't know if they're going to show it on the video or not. Maybe not. But she's vying to take over. Here she go. Chrystia Freeland, a former deputy prime minister under Trudeau, warned that Trump poses a direct threat to Canada's sovereignty by saying that the country could potentially become the 51st state. But what she's proposing is forming an alliance with Britain and France, knowing they got nukes, and said we can use them to help us protect ourselves against America and Trump. So if she gets in, if she takes Trudeau out and she gets in, her proposal is let's smooch up to Great Britain and France and get some nukes over here on the border of America. That's how close it is, y'all. That's how close it is. No, you got Canada flirting with it, France, the UK, Germany, the Dutch, all prepping for war. Look at that. Look at this. Elon Musk appears to back U.S. withdrawing from NATO and the UN. Yeah. So the fracturing of, America is where it's at. And we've seen this before, right? And we're going to read Revelation 17. We'll read down. Starting at 12, it says, "And the 10 horns which I saw are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast." So this is the European Union, the European Economic Community. This is the 10 horns. This is the Council of the EU, right? The 10 horns is that's what that represents. The original, I've shown this before. Y'all seen it before. The original 10 were Belgium, France, Italy, Denmark, Luxembourg, Greece, Ireland, West Germany, and the Netherlands. And it's kind of been configured. They, have interchangeable parts, but they don't have a shared kingdom. There is not one particular kingdom under, but they all had power at one particular point. They combined all their powers together to create NATO, the EU, and the European Economic Community. All right. These have one mind. So when they created a treaty amongst each other through the what is it? They got the Treaty of Rome, the Club of Rome, and then they got the Treaty of Belgium, I believe. But they all came to this particular agreement that they were going to create this coalition, right? And shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So they became a conglomerate power to help this beast system that is controlled or sitting on top of, that's being ruled by this harlot, which is America. They're offering their services, right? And what do they say? These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. And for he is the Lord of lords and the King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So this gets back into Joel chapter 3 with the Valley of Jehoshaphat, 2nd Ezra 13, where it shows you that the nations are going to be going to war with each other. They're going to turn, stop, try to make war with the Lamb. They're going to lose horribly. He's going to overcome them, right? But this is the foundation of the so-called white man. Verse 15, it says, "And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." So the whore is in control of and sitting on top of and dominating peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. What's America known as? The great melting pot, where all the peoples of multitudes of nations, tongues, peoples are all here. The whore is sitting on top of them, controlling it all. Now, verse 16, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." So America's ultimate destruction is going to happen via fire. That's why we're seeing all these nations gearing up with thermonuclear weapons, ICBMs, preparing to make war with the whore, right? Now, let me see. We'll read. That's all I'm going to read from there. So we're seeing the fracturing that's going to be happening within America and Europe's relationship. Now, Elon Musk is standing in there saying, hey, why don't we withdraw from NATO and the UN? He wants to go completely rogue. This guy is out of control. Tech baron Elon Musk back calls for the U.S. to withdraw from NATO and the United Nations after months of bad-mouthing the two international organizations. I agree, Musk 53 wrote on X in reply late Saturday to MAGA influencer Gunther Eagleman's suggesting that it's time to leave the NATO and the UN. So America and its constituents, this kingdom is falling and it can't get up. Elon Musk and J.D. Vance protests spread nationwide. No dictators in the U.S. Meanwhile, here within the United States, there's multiple protests going on who are revolting against the quote-unquote MAGA movement, Elon, Musty, and J.D. Vance and all of them. So a kingdom divided against itself can't stand. Protests are going on saying that they don't want dictators because they're looking at Elon Musk the way he's running through these departments with his Doge department, doing all these forensic audits on all the books, claiming to be saving and collecting all this money. Meanwhile, we can't see an ounce of it. Where's all this money being saved at? I mean, they got a new budget that's supposed to be coming up, I believe, this month to break bread. They tease you with a little $5,000 stimmy, faking like they're gonna give everybody else. They ain't giving that money up, man. Look, Tesla stores in New York City, LA, and Boston saw scores of protesters vent their frustration on Elon Musk's involvement in the Trump administration, whose policies have seen the firing of thousands of federal employees. So even here within America, it's causing divide just by his presence alone, right? And already, you know, there's already divide within, you know, the Democrats and the Republicans. The Trump just tried to get some sympathy, man. He what did he do? He kind of deputized a little Jake, man, that was had cancer and made him a secret agent, or not? I mean, what did he make him, a special agent or something? And the Democrats, they didn't even clap for that. they anybody that messes with him, they not with it. Even a little Jake. What's the little Jake's name? I didn't even look too deep into that story, but I did y'all see that? I know I spelled that wrong. Yeah, here you go. Trump designates boy with brain cancer as an honorary Secret Service agent in an emotional moment. I mean, and this the problem, man, because Negroes is gonna lose their damn minds just because he look at this. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Jake gonna let they guard down, man. If you don't let his guard down, you know, oh, look, he's a good guy, man. You know, no. You cannot fall for the okie doke, man. Surely oppression has to continue to make you mad, has to drive you up the wall that we have not been liberated. Justice hasn't been served yet. Our people haven't fully repented. Our nation is in disarray. All due to oppression, all due to ignorance, all due to sin, all due to unrighteousness. We got to get it together. But what's he do? He go tickles us with a little feather, man. Gave us a little gift. Hey, look what I did to the little Negro boy. Well, look. Jeremiah 15:11 says, the Most High Yahweh said, verily it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction. So look, this is nothing that we should be amazed at. The Lord said he's going to do this, not Trump. So when we see this little story here, designates a boy with brain cancer as an honorary Secret Service agent in an emotional moment.
Lanier by Neuromod Devices uses dual mode stimulation to soothe tinnitus. Lanier.
That's unfortunate.
Since that time, DJ and his...
It's unfortunate little Jake has been afflicted with this, man. But look, the Most High is the one who gave this honor for him. Let's not get it twisted.
Dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him.
He's almost getting like slow Biden. He's he can barely get police out, peace out.
And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Little Jake look like he don't know what's going on. I mean, what kind of stage show was this? Jake gonna let their guard down, man. Meanwhile, protests going heavy in the rest of the country, right? Let's move on. Look, Trump's tariff chaos threatens an economy already flashing yellow lights. So there's no making America great again. He's gotten in, and the economy has gotten even worse. And of course, they're going to say, well, we inherited a sinking ship. Slow Biden left us with all of this madness. Look, man, he could have came in with executive orders and with budget cuts and redirected money. The money that he said, cut off from Ukraine, he could have been invested back in homelessness and could have gave everybody a little stimulus package to get some spending going. Could have cracked down on some of these, markets and agriculturalists that's price gouging. I mean, he could have did some stuff. What are you talking about? It ain't just slow Biden, man. They working for the same system because guess what? What they want to do is crash the economy, destroy everything so that they can come back with their whole new plan, a whole new system of buying and selling and so forth and so on. You know where this is going. So he's saying, oh, the globalists, they want to crash the economy, and you playing right along with them. You right along being a stooge. Stock market's been crashing ever since he got inaugurated. Crypto's over with right now. I mean, what was it? Just 3 months ago, they was talking about the crypto boom, man. He was tweeting talking about what did he say? Bitcoin holders thank me later or something. And he had his Trump coin. He threw that out there, made multi-millions of dollars overnight before they plunged that. They just running scams all day long. You had Bitcoin, it went up to like $105,000 a coin. It's down to like 80 now. So you're already talking about it's lost damn near $15,000, $20,000 in value in a matter of months. Some in a matter of weeks. And now he just initiated these tariffs that's really got the markets like that was just the beginning. Now it's really about to get cracking. Multiple layoffs, firings, departments gone. Thousands of people jobless right now. The health of the U.S. economy is looking less and less stable by the day. Layoffs are rising, consumer spending, the backbone of the economy. He just picked up where slow Biden left off. And it's getting even worse. He just came out talking about, we're going to do these tariffs, but we're going to make a lot of money. Everybody's going to make money. I can't tell. Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve said that there has to be layoffs. There has to be economic pain in order for them to get the inflation rates down, in order to get things back on track. There's got to be some pain. They got to get people to stop spending. They got to get people unemployed. They need to shut down some of these businesses, and that's exactly what they're doing. Matter of fact, let me see if I can see them real quick. Are we looking on time? Yeah, let me look real quick. Look at this. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says fighting inflation will cause job losses. Here's what you need to know. Hello? So what's Trump saying he's going to do? He's trying to fight, cut back on inflation. He's supposed to make America great again. He's talking about all the money. You cannot do it unless jobs get cut. Layoffs, business closures, the whole nine. This is why they're running through signing all them damn executive orders, starting with the federal system and the federal government jobs first. It's going to trickle down to everybody else. They know what they're doing. He's making it look like, look, these are the bad guys. I'm getting rid of them. They need to do all of this stuff. So once it's all collapsed, then they can come back and say, guess what? We got a new digital economy, digital ID. You already hear them talking about they're creating Bitcoin to be the backup reserve currency. Everything's going digital, cashless society. Been talking about this for decades now. Mark of the beast system is all here. Notice in what is it, May, everybody who's anybody is being encouraged to get the real ID. You either have to have a real ID or you have to have you have to have a proof of citizenship, passport, or some other things to enter federal buildings, to fly any domestic flights, travel, so forth and so on. They want everybody locked into this particular real ID, which is going to be a new form of digital identification. That's mandatory coming in May. I'm going to talk about all that in the near future. They're slowly but surely sliding in the changes for the beast system, man, but it starts with crashing the economy, destroying everything. And then they're going to, quote unquote, for the slow Biden fans, build back better. He's saying, I'm going to make America great again. That means something had to be destroyed in order to build it back or to make it great, because it's lost its luster. Look, layoffs are rising, consumer spending, the backbone of the economy, unexpectedly dropped in January. Consumer confidence has plunged. The key GDP forecast suddenly turned negative, and extreme fear is back on Wall Street as stocks slide. There you go. Stocks bad, investments bad, home real estate bad, everything is bad right now. Look around. People killing themselves just to live, busting their butts for overtime, multiple jobs, side hustles, and still struggling to get by. Tariff wars, risk sinking world into a new Great Depression. International Chamber of Commerce warns, your brother here said this was going to happen 3-4 years ago. I did a lesson about this. That this is the parallel of the roaring 20s of back then. Matter of fact, I'll probably re-upload that video because some of y'all probably ain't even seen that yet. You heard about it but didn't see it for yourself. Remind me what you're talking about, Ashar. I'm talking a mile a minute. I might have said something I didn't hear. I mean, I don't see what you're talking about. But talking about the Great Depression. In this new age, quote unquote, roaring 20s, we're halfway through, midway. 2030, Agenda 2030 is the new goal for the quote, like the rebirth of everything, right? They want to have everybody under a digital surveillance system, digital payment system. They want everybody living in, manageable constructs of homes, micro apartments, micro buildings and whatnot, eating bugs. I mean, you name it. They got it all. They're going to repossess all of the real estate. You see what happened with the Malibu, Altadena fires. They're already talking about 2027 smart LA, getting prepared for the Olympics. They know what they're doing. Tariff war risk, sinking world into a new Great Depression. The world economy could face a crash similar to the Great Depression of the 1930s unless the U.S. rolls back on its plans to impose steep tariffs on imports. A senior official at the International Chamber of Commerce warned. Yeah. Again, I think I did a lesson on that 4 years ago about this whole thing. Here we go. Our deep concern is that this could be the start of a downward spiral that puts us in the 1930s trade war territory, said Andrew Wilson, Deputy Secretary General of the ICC, which promotes global business and trade. High tariffs on foreign goods imported into the U.S. in the decade contributed a damaging global recession. Now, the key thing is during the Great Depression and after, Black folks was doing okay. I mean, we was maintaining. This is when segregation played a key role in us being able to develop our own hospitals, schools, movie theaters, banks, farming, construction buildings. That was all part of it. Oh, okay. All right, Con. You're talking about the little J. Yeah. See, when our people was able to network with each other, build with each other, this is what we're gonna need now. Especially in the time that we're dealing right now. I'm sure everybody's kind of hip to the whole little incident with the brother Gorilla Hebrew and his fall from grace through his iniquity, which he said he's repented for. That's between him and the Most High. The Most High will know that, but not to deviate. But it's caused a lot of turmoil and chaos within the nation. People saying, "Well, where are the elders?" That brother has elders. He's acknowledged who his elders were. They need to hear. People want to hear from them. Then that's on his elders to speak on it. But other than that, if they're determining that it needs to be an internal thing or a council matter between them two, that's how it's supposed to be. But nonetheless, it's caused a lot of chaos within our nation. These type of things we're seeing going on right now, when we talk about economic collapse, biological warfare, World War III, these are the things that are supposed to be uniting us back together. And sometimes if it takes an incident like that to everybody to see a lot more clearer about the welfare of our nation and where we stand, especially when it comes down to judgment of the Lord, like, hey, if it ain't a better time to start pulling together, is now. Because all hell's about to break loose. And the only ones we can depend on is ourselves and our nation. Very important. Right? Let me see if they got anything that's gonna. What's this here? The Great Depression was particularly tough for Americans of color. The Negro was born in depression. One black passenger told the interviewer. Subsistence farming allowed many black Americans who lost their land or jobs working for white landholders to survive. But the hardships increased. Life for black Americans in urban settings was equally trying, with black and working class white people living in close proximity competing for scarce jobs. Yeah, tough times for all of us. When we came up out of it, prior to that, we had thriving communities. Of course, everybody knows about, Rosewood. We know about Tulsa, Oklahoma. We know about all these things that was destroyed. And in like manner, we're seeing our communities not only being destroyed internally because of our ignorances and destroying each other, but it's being gentrified. Rising up costs of living, because the Starbucks got built around the corner from your house, forcing people to move up out of there, and they come back in, colonize, and take over. Communities being destroyed in a different way now. Same results though, right? But this is what they're talking about: an incoming Great Depression, just like the 30s. And they're saying it's all based around these tariffs. And Trump ain't back down. Tariffs are going full-fledged. So just imagine, this is where we at. This is the things that we're seeing affected by the tariffs. U.S. and China. This is just with China alone. Look, computers and electronics, that's going to be going up. Electrical equipment, miscellaneous manufacturing, machinery, clothing, fabricated metal, furniture, transportation equipment, chemicals, plastic and rubber products, leather, and similar goods. These are all things that are getting imported from China. Things that's going out to China: transportation equipment, computers, electronics, chemicals, machinery, oil and gas, farm crops, miscellaneous manufacturing, waste and scrap, and electrical equipment. That's what we send over there. We're importing $539 billion worth of goods between Canada and Mexico. I think I remember covering, but I think both of them were getting like $400-something billion a piece here in America worth of imports. All that's getting taxed on. And who's going to pay them taxes? Who's going to pay more for what they need to get brought up in here? You and me. They're talking about a possible interruption with Social Security. Social Security has never missed a payment. Those actions threaten interruption of benefits, ex-agency head says. So the thought of Social Security checks being cut off or being reduced is on the table. Now, whether or not Elon can go through with it or not is yet to be seen. But the fact that that's even being discussed, they already said Social Security, they anticipated being the well-run dry by 2030 or 2035, something like that. So he's accelerating it. They already saying there ain't gonna be no Social Security by that time. There just isn't no money. I mean, America. First of all, man, America can't even pay the debt down. That's out. You got $36 trillion worth of debt, and you're broke. You're living check to check based upon, every 90 days you gotta, develop a budget to try to pay your bills. You ain't got nothing in the bank, man. How you gonna pay these bills? Unless they come up with a new system saying, hey, reset it all. And then we'll control it. We don't have to print out money no more. We can say what you can and can't buy. We can cut it off at the click of a button. You dig what I'm saying? Like, this is where it's going. So they're talking about Social Security. That could even be threatened. Trump's tariffs could raise prices of fruits and vegetables within days, Target CEO warns. I mean, who's Target is the alternative to Walmart. Jake love either one of them. But at the same time, they're going to be running scared when they see them prices go up even more. But Target CEO already said, man, look, fruits, vegetables, that's going up. And Target already got problems when they were selling them damn pro transmission t-shirts and rainbow t-shirts and all that. Remember that? Baby clothes, promoting the agenda. And now you're talking about we're going to boost up the prices on your fruits and vegetables, agricultural goods. So it's already being shown. Next time you go to the store, let me know how much avocado is. That's coming from Mexico. Let's move on. Look, Trump creates a strategic Bitcoin reserve one day ahead of the White House crypto summit. So this is where we're talking about them pushing towards a digital economy, a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is a controlled coin. There's a limited amount of them. This is why you're seeing a lot of the cryptos going down, people panic selling. They're forcing the market to crash so that they can come in and they can buy them up on the low, buy them all up on the low, and then they can store them and reserve them and never sell them, creating a scarcity. And the people who still got them, they might be able to, maneuver something with the coin. But if it ever turns into it being controlled by the government, your coin now is going to be subject to the regulations that the government lays down on it. So white man slick, man. He'll go in there. He goes in there and he's crashing and causing all the speculation and manipulating the markets and doing all the stuff. So all the crypto is crashing because it's all based around how Bitcoin moves. Now he comes in and says, now Here's a failing asset in the eyes of the ignorant. You just look and say, man, Bitcoin losing all this money, man. I ain't messing with that. But he comes in and says, no, we're going to use that as our strategic reserve as far as economics is concerned. He sees the value in it. Why? Because he's the one in there manipulating and crashing the damn thing. So while everybody's panic selling, saying, damn, I'm out of here. Give me my money. I done already lost $100,000, $2,000, $5,000, $500. I want out. He's saying, yes, sell, yes. We're going to come in and scoop it all up on the low, cheap. And then they stash them and control the coin. So Trump established a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a stockpile of other digital assets through an executive order on Thursday, shortly before hosting a crypto summit at the White House. They ain't never had no digital currency summit to discuss about creating and making a digital monopoly on money, basically. Right? This is what we're talking about, cashless society, NWO. The Treasury Department will set up an office to administer the reserve, which will be capitalized with Bitcoin confiscated by the government as part of a criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceeding, according to the order. Did you hear that? Capitalized with Bitcoin confiscated by the government as part of a criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings. I've talked about civil asset forfeiture a number of times. Go look into it for yourself. You'll know what we're talking about. Bitcoin is the original cryptocurrency, the order said, because there is a fixed supply of Bitcoin. There is a strategic advantage to being among the first nations to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Do you understand what he just said? There's a fixed supply, meaning you can't reprint it. You can't just make them up. There's a set amount that they have. That's what creates the value of it. And they're looking to strategically create an advantage, meanwhile, taking up or getting more of that fixed supply, the set number. They want more of what you got, I got, anybody else got. And then they're going to try to create a safe haven for them, so that when the digital economy is established, is going to be backed by this particular reserve. All right. It says the order also created a U.S. digital asset stockpile under the Treasury Department to manage other coins and assets. So they want in the digital space. The whole reason why they created these digital digicoins and all that was supposed to be free from government regulation and all of that. But meanwhile, we can't tell. they want in. And he's doing exactly what they need to do. Crash it, buy it on pennies on the dollar so that they can control it moving forward. Ontario's premier threatens to cut off electricity to the U.S. Says Republicans will, quote, feel pain like never felt before. I got the video. Bear with me. There you go. This is all over the tariffs.
World. We buy over 3,600 products from 35 states. I talked to the governor of Kentucky and Mitch McConnell. Don't touch our bourbon. I'm going after absolutely everything. And I don't want to. We keep the lights on the 1.5 million homes in manufacturing in New York, in Michigan, and in Minnesota. If he wants to destroy our economy and our families, I will shut down the electricity going down to the U.S. And I'm telling you, we will do it.
Isn't it? Where are you saying? Michigan, New York, Minnesota. 1.5 million people rely on energy coming from Canada. He's saying, blame it on Trump when I cut your lights off. Blame it on Trump while it's still cold out and this winter cycle, winter storm is still brewing up. Blame it on him when you can't turn the heat on.
It's unfortunate. I would rather ship you more electricity, ship you more critical minerals. I want to ship you more energy, more potash to keep your farmers going, and uranium that you use for your nuclear power. It comes through from Saskatchewan over to Ontario, and it's going to be a massive problem. I'm telling you, we love Canadians love Americans. I love the U.S. Everyone does, and not one American friend. When I lived there for 20 years, I've talked to all of them. Hardcore Republicans are saying this is the biggest mistake President Trump has done, and we're dead against it. And I've yet to find one who supports him.
And so, if I'm hearing you correctly, you are ready, sir, to go to war, to go to a trade war with the United States, with the Trump administration.
It's the last thing we want to do. It's one person that's coming to attack us economically. Your closest friend, your treasured ally, that will stand shoulder to shoulder with you in every situation.
See, he's even still filibustering. He's trying not to say, "Yeah, I'm ready to go to war." He was speaking bold real quick, man, but Jake put him on the spot. He said, hold on, let me be clear. You're saying you want to go to war. You want to go to full-blown trade war with Trump. It's the last thing we want to do. Hold on. So this is where we're seeing whether or not this goes through is going to be something that we see. See, they got the little signs in the back, Canada's not for sale, but them tariffs is kicking in. And I think Trump is kind of playing with him a little bit. He's hitting him a little bit, backing off, hitting him a little bit. I think he kind of backed off of the 25%. Let me see. Yeah, see, Trump walks back tariffs on a range of goods from Mexico and Canada. Remember, he gave them 30 days when they was first supposed to come in. So now he's selectively saying what he's going to put the heavy tariffs on and what he's not. About half of the goods from Mexico and more than 1/3 from Canada won't face a 25% tariff on imports from the two countries that Trump ordered Tuesday. So, he's out here playing games. But he's still laying it down on some products, others he's not. But the fact that they threatening to cut off the electricity to the U.S., it's getting wild out here, man. South Carolina governor declares a state of emergency. Wildfires erupt in the Carolinas and Georgia. House of Byron, man. Y'all in South Carolina, right? I don't know if y'all on tonight, but if you're on it tomorrow, y'all know how to contact me, man. Let me know y'all good. Because Lord knows, we know about wildfires out here, but South Carolina, they can't get a break. They get hit with the floods and the storms and all that. All of them sundown towns still struggling with FEMA, getting over on them. Now they getting hit. Most High ain't playing, man. They ain't hit them with wildfires up there. 10 active wildfires remain in the Carolinas and Georgia early Monday, with some residents forced to flee their homes as flames raged nearby. So we're seeing how the Most High, we read earlier, man, spirits created for vengeance. South Carolina got a lot of dirt on their hands, man. Probably the Geechee Gullah society down there, man, probably praying to the Lord, saying, "Look, we've been catching hell over here, looking for some retribution, looking out for his children over there." I don't know, but Carolina is catching hell, and mostly the Edomites really get hit. So I don't know about if Jason's in Horry, Spartanburg, Union, Oconee, and Pickens counties, but the House of Byron, man, let me know. Let me know if y'all good and what's happening down there. Let's move on. Second major airport on red alert as a foreign traveler imports deadly disease and infects an untold number. Remember that? Oh, the measles is here. A child who traveled from Terminal 4 on a China Airlines shuttle bus to Philly has tested positive for highly contagious disease. Here we go. 9 states report measles cases as outbreaks grow. So again, they still pushing this thing. Economic collapse, war. You got civil unrest. Here goes the increased rates of measles. They're pushing for a jab to get fast tracked in. And Musk then jumped out the window, man, talking about being in support of pardoning Derek Chauvin. The cop that killed George Floyd, man, this dude's out of control. And he's out there doing the Hitler salutes, talking about getting a pardon done for a damn racist pig that killed the Jake. And you got Negroes still running around praising him as being a genius and how much they love the MAGA movement. I mean, if this don't tell you, remember, this guy is from apartheid South Africa in that era, where you know how they feel about black folks over there. All right. So he's only showing his true colors, man. This is, you know, what's the name? Thunderbolt Ross right here. Letting the rage out. The hidden hatred is there. He can run around him and pose as the savior 1 minute. Hey, I'm going to give you technology. I'm going to help you here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Meanwhile, he hates niggas. That's the bottom line. There's a brother that ended up suing. He worked at SpaceX, sued over discrimination. SpaceX, man, the SpaceX plant is like 5 to 7 minutes from my house. Yeah, I see the Revenge of the Nerds, man, walking around, rolling around in their Teslas. He built a little apartment complex for them to walk across the street, go to sleep, go right back, get back to work. He's got a whole little compound. All right, but this is what he's pushing for. Look at this. Now, the chump had to put he had to put a muzzle on him, man, to pull the range back. This is just recently it. He said Trump puts new limits on Elon Musk. The president convened his secretaries with Musk to clarify power. He had to pull him to the side and said, look, man, you're getting out of control. Like every minute I'm seeing a headline about what you're doing and what you're trying to do and who you firing and who you running. Hey, slow down. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to put you in check. So the Trump administration has some clarity brought to the table because Elon is getting out of hand. So President Trump convened his cabinet in person on Thursday to deliver a message. You're in charge of your departments, not Elon Musk. According to two administration officials, Trump told top members of his administration that Musk was empowered to make recommendations to the departments, but not to issue unilateral decisions on staffing and policy. Musk was also in the room. So he checked him on the spot. Told him, man, slow down. You in here running amok. I just told you come in and make some recommendations, man. Get a team in here to do some forensic scrubbing and auditing on these books. Report back to me and it's cool. He come in, man, firing, laying off, talking about pardons, talking about we need to break free of the NATO. See, he played his hand too soon. He's running around doing all these little dances and Hitler saluting. And he was supposed to lay low, do his job. And if he was really trying to supplant power, he was supposed to do it a whole nother way. But he showed his hand. And now the chump, I should say, had to check him, which shows another form of division within that administration. So it can't stand. FAA halts flights after Musk's Starship rocket explodes and rains down debris. Another failed mission by him. They were talking about parts are flying all the way over into Bahamas and everywhere else. This is what I was talking about earlier, right? So another failed attempt of him trying to be like the Most High. Now look at this. Fertility shock. More than half of women aged 30 to 35 are already in menopause, expert discovered. Can you imagine? This is why they hate you Negroes, man. This is why they hate the black women. This is why they hate the black and Hispanic women, Native American women, because guess what? We don't die, we multiply. Deuteronomy 7:14 says, thou shalt be blessed above all people, and there shall not be a male or female barren among you or among your cattle. Let me jump up. Hold on. 7 in verse 6, the famous. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. The Most High Yahweh, thy power, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. What comes along with that? Thou shalt be blessed above all people. We hear it twice within this chapter. The Most High God hath chosen thee to be special above all people. We're blessed above all people. Genetically, blessed above all people. Spiritually, blessed above all people. Athletically, even when it comes down to intelligence, creation, influence, you name it. Everything revolves around us, man. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be a male or female barren among you or among your cattle. So very rarely do our people get hit, our sisters get hit in the womb. Remember, even during the time of Egypt, man, they said, man, the children of Israel, the more that we afflict them, the more that they grew. We keep multiplying, man. Meanwhile, the white seed is dying off, man. The white woman's womb is barren and rotten. They need IVF therapy. They're running, trying to make designer babies and looking for sperm donors. They're doing all kind of madness. Now, the deterioration of the womb is what? By 30 to 35, man, they saying half of women are already hitting menopause, man. That means being unable to have babies. But that lets you know also, white man is still poisoning the food supply, the water supply. Talked about it 1,000,001 times, man. They're putting sterilants in the water, the injections that they, putting up in your arms, the radiation, the Wi-Fi, all this other stuff, right? Let alone men are becoming impotent. They're not, producing seed either. All this is going down. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. And that's why they're out here telling. Subsequently, 22 said, "Damn, that's why they reside at those fertility clinics." That's right. That's why you've got Planned Parenthood all throughout the hood, all over the place, trying to discourage and get rid of and promoting abortion of black babies and Hispanic babies, and trying to cut off our seeds so that they can say, well, look, we need to stop them. Because before you know it, there's not going to be any more of us. And shame on what's her name, man? That first of all, man, the brat and her woman, that abomination of a union. But she went and got the damn white man seed in her and had that baby. The rapper, the brat, former rapper, whatever she is now. Straight up dyke, man, went and got married. They had a white man implant seed in her. Look, and his seed continues on now through a damn black woman's womb. Meanwhile, they're constantly promoting, the interracial marriages and whatnot. That's just exactly what you're saying. That's why they always pushing for E to be with Brad in these shows and movies. That's exactly right. Constantly promoting through the commercials, through the movies, you name it. Influencing thought to say, hey, why not try it? Get a little cream in the coffee, girl. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's over for them. They're all jacked up. The Most High said, man, this seed is spoiled. Esau seed. But this is even extended beyond Esau, man. This is hitting many of these women of the nations. But you don't really hear too much about Israelites, women, being barren, unable to bear seed, or, being sterile. Because of that blessing that the Most High placed upon us. Let me give one more scripture in closing. I believe that's my last one. Yeah, let me give one more scripture in closing. Let's get Proverbs 30. Proverbs 30. And let's read verse 12 and we'll read down. It says, there is a generation that are pure in their own eyes and yet is not washed from their filthiness. It's a timely scripture, when it comes down to especially what's internally happening or happened within our community. of Israel, man. It's a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. Verse 13, there is a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth and the needy from among men. See, this is also a key scripture as well. The generation who love to just, gnaw at, tear apart, destroy people, jaw and teeth as knives, man, barking down, causing division, strife, the whole nine. Speaking deaf, these little jakes on the, what they call them, little YNs. They going live on their Instagrams, they going live on their Facebooks, talking deaf. People pulling up on them, shooting them live on camera. They doing all kind of foolish dirt. Knockout games, all this foolishness. To devour the poor from out the earth and the needy from among men. The horse leech with two daughters crying, give, give. There are three things that are never satisfied. Yea, four things say, not, it is enough. Here's the next one. Look at this. The grave and the barren womb. The earth is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough. So these are the things that are we're seeing plaguing the earth right now. Death, the barren womb. It says the earth is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough. So resources becoming scarce. We just got to see in South Carolina wildfires destroying much of the land. The grave, death, and the barren womb. And that's what we're seeing right there with the infertility issues jumping off, man. A lot going on in the earth, y'all. A lot going on in the earth. See, that's that foolishness, man. But that's the Isaiah 3, about them getting struck with baldness, trying to redeem themselves through the seed, man, trying to get a little designer baby, man. They want the good hair, right? Damn shame. Still to use the card, man. Hopefully you and the family's well, man. I'm gonna go and get up out of here, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, while you have a side, man. Make sure y'all go check that film out, man. If it's on your spirit, you're able to do it, go check it out. We'll compare some notes. You know what I mean? But the rest of y'all, man, y'all be well, man. Have a blessed Sabbath evening. Lord willing, see y'all tomorrow. Always remember, in passing and in closing, fear the Most High, keep the commandments. Don't shoot the messenger. All right, shalom.